Moses is as good as what we think he is. He gets the job done on the 16th of August.
No, Moses, I've seen a lot of him, and yeah, he's a knockout specialist as well, isn't he? So.
He is, mate. So yeah, people have not heard his name. You will be hearing his name a lot more. He's 20 years of age. Really? You can't believe it. It's like Mike Tyson had that thing about him way back when, and you're saying, is he too young? Don't push him too soon. But you go, sometimes they're that good. You have to let them go. Yeah. And I think this is like a coming of age fight for Moses in many ways. Like I say, Frank's taken that gamble to say, look, putting him in, Dillian's a world-class, dangerous heavyweight, but maybe just past his best, and that's that calculate. Yeah. The excitement of the fight is we don't really know like just how good or what Dillian's got left, but we know how good Moses is. All we're going to find out on the 16th.
On Saturday. How does this fight play out, Moses?
I mean, Moses' Itauma victory.
By any means?
I mean, if I stick to the game plan, that should be enough. Like you said, if I get pulled into a dogfight, Dillian Whyte will win. He might do, and that means I'm not boxing too much.
Good fight, actually, especially for Moses. I think it's a very good time to fight Dillian. He's had a couple of years out the ring, but make no mistakes, Dillian Whyte is a massive puncher. To head and body. I know he's taking it very serious. I'm speaking to Ty Mitchell, who's in training camp with him, and looking forward to the fight. It's a big step up for Moses because he hasn't really fought anybody on Dillian's level. The old Dillian, it was a couple of years ago. And it's going to be interesting to see how much that Dillian Whyte has left. And could this be potential? I think it does have the potential to do what Martin McCauley did to Jared Anderson. Maybe it's too early, or maybe he passes with flying colours, and that's why you got to watch it and find out. But one thing I will say about Moses is he's a very good fighter, good little boxer, good puncher, and a lovely kid as well. It's like a sponge. You tell him something, he absorbs it and he listens, and that's the great thing about the young kids who's coming up. And he's only 20 years old. I told him a few years ago, forget about breaking records, take your time. You've only got one career, and just enjoy it. Because I remember when I was 19, 20, and now 36 has gone like that.
I don't know him more. If he matches me speed for speed, I can imagine that I'll be favouring that.
Do you expect to knock Dillian Whyte out?
If I box by the game plan, I should do, yes.
Quick?
Fairly quick.
In order for Moses to grow, he's only had 12 fights, Moses, you get me? So in order for Moses to grow, he needs mentality of the Dillian Whytes in front of him. The mentality. It's all about mentality.
Being what? What do you mean by that?
Well, when Moses throws and connects, the mentality from Dillian is going to be different to what Moses had felt before, unless he switches him off. Right. Simple as that. Yeah. Simple.
It frustrated me. That was frustrated people talking and then when they come and see him in shape and different mindset, then they start changing their minds and opinion. I'm like, yo, I have the same energy, bro. I have the same energy. When I'm 118, 120 kilos, I have the same energy because now I'm light and I look like I'm in shape. Then now everybody's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yo, come on, man. I don't need to be 100% to win some fights because I'm a fighter. I know what to fight. He's had more amateur fights than me and all of this other He's doing what he's meant to know. And one thing is, he's got the what's the word I'm looking for? The ignorance of inexperience. I didn't say it right, but I'm tired. Yeah. Ignorance of youth or whatever it is. Yeah. I'm not a chump, bro. I'm not a chump. Obviously people writing me up, but I'm not a chump. So let's go up on Saturday.
Dillian, one word. What can we expect on Saturday night?
What I always bring, man. I always bring that. With me, there's always that unpredictability in the ring.
I think it does have the potential to do what Martin McCauley did to Jared Anderson. Maybe it's too early, or maybe he passes with flying colours, and that's why you got to watch it and find.
This is not your typical heavyweight fight. On one side, you've got Moses Itauma, just 20 years old, undefeated, and already being talked about as the future of the division. On the other side, the dangerous, unpredictable veteran Dillian Whyte, battle-tested, heavy-handed, hungry for redemption. Tyson Fury has spoken. He sees talent in Itauma, but he's not calling it a walk in the park. It's a big step up, Fury said, and he's right. Whyte is no gatekeeper. He's a former world title challenger with real knockout power and a chip on his shoulder. Moses has looked unstoppable. 12 wins, 10 knockouts, and barely a scratch. But he's never faced someone with Whyte's grit, experience, and toughness.
Some kind of light at the end of the tunnel for Dillian taking that fight.
Ain't no light at the end of that tunnel.
I agree with you. I think Moses... I don't think Dillian gets beyond 4 or 5 rounds.
You're crazy. Yeah. There's no light in that tunnel. That kid is... No, you mad. No way. Even Lawrence Okoli said... Moses is bad.
I don't think they put him in against Dillian Whyte if they think there's real jeopardy for them. I think they might get a few rounds and get asked a few more questions than possibly they've been asked by Marius Wack and Dempsey McKean. But I don't think they think much more than that. And I'm surprised at Dillian taking the fight.
I think just the young gun, man. Look, he's on a roll. Look, Dillian Whyte in his day was good. Not saying that he's not good, but Dillian Whyte was Dillian Whyte, you know what I'm saying? But
is Dillian still capable of causing an upset, what people would see as an upset against Moses?
I mean, look, Moses is super sharp, man. I don't see an upset coming, you know, I'll be real with you. He's super sharp.
I think he's a very neat, tidy boxer, Moses. Clearly punches hard. Fastest hands in the heavyweight division, I think. I think it could be an...
My early prediction isn't a Itauma stoppage. I don't think it happens too early though. I don't think it happens in 1 or 2. I think it'd probably be 6, 7, 8. I think Dillian Whyte will come to survive. I think early on he'll get behind the jab, he'll move. And Itauma, I think he's really clever actually. I watch him and you wouldn't believe he was 20. And he never boxed as a senior either. He never boxed as a senior amateur. He never, I wouldn't have thought he boxed like an egg guard in that case. So, but he's very clever. He does some very clever things beyond his experience. Because he's not the most experienced either, really. Yes, I think Dillian will be looking to frustrate him. The only holes I've seen in Itauma was when he boxed Espindola and Dovzhenko. He did get frustrated when he didn't have the success he wanted. When Dovzhenko and Espindola made him miss and weren't giving enough. And I expect Dillian Whyte to do that. Really, that's what I think he will do. And I don't think Itauma's going to punch straight through Dillian Whyte. I'd be very surprised, very, very surprised. I think as time goes on, I think he'll chip away at him and wear him down. And Dillian will have to have a go eventually, and that's when Itauma will land something.
Dillian, you've been here before, you've seen it, done it. How does it play out for you?
But to Saturday night and see, man. You know. You guys are the expert. I seen your prediction how it plays out. I said
if this turns into a dogfight.
No, I seen your prediction.
I seen it goes into a dogfight.
I seen your prediction before that. That's something you're saying now, but I subscribe to your videos. Bro.
I said if it turns into a dogfight, this could turn into a dogfight.
It's all good, bro. You're still my man.
No. I said
you remember when you got the DAZN job? Who was one of the first people to congratulate you? You're still my man. It's all good. But it's boxing, you know. Boxing, people's memory is short. And you're the man in the moment in boxing, that's all it is, bro. It's a number and a name in the moment, you know. You disappear for a little bit and everybody forget about you, everybody writes you off. You have a loss, everybody writes you off.
His job's to not get hit.
Absolutely.
You know, and I know that we're all crying out, I want to see what he looks like.
He's going to get hit at some
him.
point, isn't he?
Yeah, when he comes up against, you know.
He's going to get hit at some point, and I got a little fight myself, Giorgio Vizioli. No one's hit him. O'Hara Davis caught him with a lovely backhand at the beginning. It was nice for me as his coach to see how he reacted. Now I'm sure Ben Davison's, you know, seen him. He can't dodge every shot in it, you know. So he's going to get hit from time to time. So that's how you build a Moses Itauma and a Giorgio Vizioli. They've got to be built in the gym.
Yeah,
in the gym.
You listen. He's just said it. Mark knows his onions, doesn't he? You know
of course
what I mean? He will, at this moment in time, he will 100% have had harder spars than he.
And that's the risk. Whyte has been written off before. But ask anyone who's shared the ring with him, he can still bang and he can still win. Insiders like Derek Chisora, Carl Frampton, and Tony Bellew are backing Itauma. But even they admit if he gets drawn into a war, Whyte can turn the lights out. This is youth versus veteran, speed versus power, hype versus history. A win for Itauma rockets him toward a world title shot.
You know, it's heavyweight boxing. You know, you can never write anybody off. Dillian's got a phenomenal left hook, but I think the likelihood of that is very, 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 very slim. I think Moses Itauma is a sensational talent. I've been saying it since he was 15 years of age, and I think, you know, he has a great mindset for a young fighter. I think Adam's the same. He's got a very good mindset. They're very calm and they take things in their stride, and they're perfectionists. They're working on their craft constantly. I think they don't believe that they're the finished article yet, and that's the most important thing. You have to constantly keep striving for 1% improvements. But Dylan is, you know, is at the end of his career, and he's always had vulnerabilities there, but he's always had that tenacity to pull something out of the bag and deliver a fantastic shot like he's done numerous times before. So you can never write him off.
He's at a stage now where where I feel that every fight he's had, we're increasing the quality of the opposition, and he's ready for the next big step up, and it has to be against a recognisable name.
So is this, let me make it a supposition that this is potentially going to happen, and you don't have to comment on it, but is it the kind of fight that you want to see Moses in now?
Yes. Yeah.
And if it were Dillian, what does it say about Dillian? Is it the sort of fight that he would really fancy?
Well, if the fight took place, then obviously he would fancy.
My opinion is at the end, and I just think he's agreed a fantastic payday for himself. You know, it's been widely touted what he's getting. It's been put out here, there, and everywhere, and he's being paid a king's ransom to go in there and be dealt with. I think that's quite as simple as it is.
You say fair play to him as well, because nobody wants to fight Itauma. Anyone who's above Itauma in the rankings and whatnot, they do not want to fight. Itauma.
I think they do for the right amount of money and what's on the line. I think.
Really? Chisora turned down $2 million.
Because he knows it's his last ever fight. He probably doesn't want to go.
That's my point, isn't it?
Yeah, but...
No, but I mean, it's a fight that you don't think he can...
If Del gets the right fight, he gets more than $2 million. If Del goes to Africa, he gets far more than $2 million.
I think it's good night, Mr. Whyte.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think that the matchmaking's great for him?
Not for Dillian, I don't know. I think it's great for Moses, because ultimately he gets a decent name like Dillian Whyte on his resume, which isn't the Dillian Whyte that was fighting 2 or 3 years ago. If he blasts him out, which I think he will, then Moses, the mythology around Moses just gets bigger and wider and more bankable.
There'll be a bit of hype around the fight as well, which will raise Moses' profile too.
Yeah. Another question for you then. So if you say it's not good matchmaking for Dillian Whyte, where would you put Dillian Whyte then? That's what I'm saying. Like, what opportunity is going to come from?
Well, the last time I opened my mouth about Whyte, I put him in with Fabio Wardley and got smacked around everybody for being a bit of a tit. So I'm not even going to answer that question. Thanks very much.
Brilliant.
How do you see it in the event that this fight is made, which we all think it will be? I do think it will be Moses Itauma. Yeah. I do think that he will go through Dillian, and I think he'll go through him compellingly. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm with you.
You think the same?
I just think that timing is key in boxing. Dillian Whyte's been a great ambassador for the sport. I don't think he's the fighter he once was, and I think that Moses Itauma is something special, and I think he wins and wins quite comfortably.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Spencer, and I think it could be early as well. I think he's a very neat, tidy boxer. Moses clearly punches hard, fastest hands in the heavyweight division. I think. I think it could be an early.
A win for Whyte? It might just rewrite the ending to his career. So, who walks away victorious on August 16th? Will Itauma prove he's ready for the big leagues? Or does Whyte remind the world he's still a force to be feared? Drop your predictions below, subscribe, and hit the bell. We've got more exclusive coverage coming your way. Heavyweight boxing doesn't get more real than this.